Hello everybody and welcome to a new tutorial here on the channel. Today I'm bringing you an infinitely expandable squid farm. You can literally make this as big as you want, as sure as they're still in loaded chunks of course. So I'm here in the copy of the Breaking Bedrock realm so I can show you a small mock-up of the farm, and I'm going to tell you how we can expand it, and then I'll build a one chunk of this farm. So basically you can put all the size you want as soon as it is in between the random distance of 4 chunks. You can make this platform as big as you want, but you also have to bear in mind that you need a collection system, which is basically a minecart just going all around the farm. So the bigger you have the farm, the more rails you have to do. So on today's tutorial I'll show you a one chunk version of this farm, which should get you a little bit more than a stack of ink sacks per hour. So the first thing you want to do is find a good ocean where you can basically build the farm as big as you want without having the risk of going over land. And a cool trick you can do is just go to one of these kelp that are around here and use it to help you place a platform for yourself. And then you want to make sure you go above 110 around, something like that, because you don't want mobs to be spawning in the water. You want mobs, yeah, you see all the mobs just despawned around it, so it means you're pretty good to go. But you can always just bring it up a little bit more so you're sure that whatever you do, you will know you have no mobs spawning in there, and all the mobs will spawn in your farm. Then you want to make a platform for yourself for you to be able to work, and then if you have chunk bounds or any sort of resource pack that shows you the chunks, you can use it to go ahead and mark a chunk. This will help you prevent minecarts just stop randomly if you're loading the thing in. And then what you want to be doing is filling in this entire chunk with any type of solid blocks. Of course, you can always just light it up as well. This will help you just prevent some of the things just glitching out. Then what you want to be doing is counting 8 blocks on one side. So you can see 4, then 8, then put a block right there, then do the exact same thing, and then you want to pull like the first ones a little bit back, because this is where your minecart is going to go and unload stuff, and this is when it's going to hit and turn back into the cycle. And if you're having issues with blocks falling down, you can always just do this, like replace the middle thing with a scaffolding. This way you can always just keep climbing back up if you have any issues by going down, and this will come useful in a second. Then you need to place down the rails. The rails can go like in any shape or form that you want, as long as they start here, they go around all the blocks of the farm, they get to here, and then they go back. If you want to do something like this, then it's just 3, then corner 3, then 6, 3, corner 3, 6, 3, corner, so on and so forth. And here you need to be careful because this one needs to be a powered rail. It cannot be one of these rails, so that the minecart hits the block and then goes back. And here you're going to be extending this because your minecart is actually going to start to go up in a bit, like so, in order for you to reach unloading system. And as soon as you start getting these things in place, you can go ahead and turn off the chunk board. Of course, you need to power all the rails from underneath using levers, and you can use the scaffolding to make it easier for you to reach underneath your platform, and then you have all the rails powered up. Now, you want to give yourself like a little bit more space because you're going to have stuff here. You don't want minecarts to get stuck while going up in some random blocks. So you bring it out a little bit, and then you start making a climb. Then what you want to be doing is like on this, you want to have like an area of 3. Go down here, place a dispenser, you break this one, you place a hopper. You're going to have to do this plus shape here, then a plus shape here as well. Then you'll be breaking this one, putting one there, breaking this one, and then also using this, and you're going to be breaking that one. So this is your shape for the redstone. Basically, you want to have a repeater here, Then you need to have 2 comparators here. In terms of torches, is one there, one there. What this system will do is, as soon as something is going through the hopper, this thing will be unpowered, and the powered rail that's going to be sitting in here, it's no longer getting powered. It is getting powered now, but as soon as something is going through the system, it will get unpowered. Your minecart hopper will stay here and unload all the stuff. But for it to unload, you need to power the dispenser. So this thing will be using an observer clock, which will only be activated when there's stuff to dispense. So if you do it like this, that's perfect. This and this one, both of these comparators will power this piston, which will drop the observer clock will start, it will trigger this torch will make this thing dispense all your items. So this will be useful if you're using water systems to collect your stuff, but if you just want the stuff to get immediately into some chests, you can just replace this area right here, all of this, for just more hoppers underneath here, and whenever something is going through this hopper, the minecart will wait, it will get fully empty, and then it will go back, and then you can just use hoppers to take the things to your system. So you don't need this if you're not using water to move your items. If you just want, you can just literally have lines of hoppers going wherever you want. Now, as soon as you finish all the rails, all the dispensers and all these things, before you put your minecarts going on, you still need to build the platform. So what you're gonna do is put blocks on top of all of these. There you go, around all the rails in your chunk. So you basically have an entire chunk filled with magma blocks. Okay, now that you have your magma platform, you're gonna go ahead and use any sort of blocks to make a 2-type wall. You can use glass if you want to see inside, but if you don't want to, you can just use solid blocks or wherever you have. You can use anything. They don't need to be glass, but I'm gonna use glass so you can see inside. Okay, now that you have your walls, you need to start placing in the water. So you go to one side, you place it all the way up here, and place all the way up here, and then it should make the first layer all water sources, and fish already start to spawn. And now you can already start sending in your minecarts. Here they go. And I advise you to have like a water source nearby, because this part now starts to get a little bit harder, because you need to fill all of these. Not all, you can just leave a space. So if the water drops down there, you put a water bucket here. Then the water drops down there, you put a water bucket here. And you do this all around on all sides. And here you still need to put a water bucket there, and you'll see that since that side was already done, and you have 2 high all around water source, and that's it. That's your farm done. Of course, you need to do a collection system. If you're using dispensers or droppers, you can just put a water stream going to collect all those things. Or if you're just using regular hoppers, then you don't need to do nothing with water, and you're pretty much set to go. As you can see, fish will spawn, the minecarts will eventually pick that thing up when they go around there, and then when they get here, they dispense it out, and that's it. Then you can literally just find a spot for you to AFK. It could be a little bit further away from this, so they get fish spawning all around. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully this was helpful for you. This is expandable. You can do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or even 9 chunks if you feel like it. I have a 4 module, which gives me around 5 stacks of ink sacks per hour. This should give you a little bit more of 1 stack. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Leave the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.